Hi, I'm Kendra Amos, and this is my comprehensive project for literacy assessment and intervention. I first off wanted to address my roller coaster of emotions throughout the semester, which I'm sure many of my peers also felt. Anxious. I was super anxious to get the semester started, knowing that this was my last semester before student teaching, and I wasn't sure what it was all going to entail. I was nervous about this course. I was a new mom this semester, so having my course load and the 16 sessions we had to get with our literacy groups, I was just extremely nervous. I was excited. I was excited to meet my potential students. I was excited to get the semester rolling, to honestly just be done. I mean, it seems like it's taken forever. I was eager to get the semester going, to see how I was going to do, especially once we started reading all those chapters. I was ready to get in the classroom and work with the students. I was stressed. There was a lot going on, obviously in this class and in so many other classes, along with our lives outside of school. So, keep making sure that I was doing what I needed to do each week and getting the lesson plans done and everything, it kind of stressed me out. Being unprepared was one of my biggest feelings until about halfway through the semester. I was so nervous going into my groups, and especially after getting my first couple days of assessments, I rushed with time. I didn't get a lot of the students accomplished in the time that we were given in the hour time frame, and so I felt just super underprepared. I felt like that was on me, and then I was just really struggling, and I was forgetting things. I was just my brain was just kind of in a fog the first couple lesson plans we had to do. I felt very overwhelmed. Obviously, all of these emotions, on top of everything else, would make you just feel overwhelmed. There was just a lot to go on. You're responsible for teaching these children the basic reading needs that they need, their phonics needs, and I mean, that's a lot to really think about. But, then things started to get a lot better. And not that all those emotions were all negative. I mean, I had a lot of mixed feelings about this semester. I started to feel prepared. I felt like I was coming to class ready, and that those kids knew exactly what we were going to be working on that day. And when they left feeling successful and proud of themselves, that made me feel like I had came together that day with everything I needed. I gave it my best. I felt prepared. I was relaxed. I started to see progress in my students, and that just made me feel at ease with how things were going through the semester. I was thankful for the opportunity to work with these children, thankful that their parents and themselves came and made an effort every single day. I was happy. I'm really getting somewhere. I'm seeing success in the things that I was doing. Each lesson plan got better. Each session got better. My students got better. I got better. And overall, it's just a good time. I felt relieved. Things were coming together. My lesson plans were working a lot better than I thought. And I'm getting the grades that I want, and it's all coming to an end. We are almost done, guys. Overall, I feel proud. I am so proud of myself for accomplishing the things that I did this semester. Proud of all of you for accomplishing the things you did this semester. Things are just proud of my students. Things are just looking up, and we're finally to the end. I wanted to thank Mrs. Broman for everything that she's done and helped us with, from extending times as simple as our KPTP to, really giving us a lot of coursework And it seemed so overwhelming, and there were times that I was frustrated and I didn't know why we were doing so much, but really, really, I'm truly thankful for the opportunities that we are given while we're still in school, the experiences that we get to experience before we actually are in the real world, and have, not that you won't have anyone, but you just don't have the support that we do here at Fort Hays, and I'm just really thankful for that, so I appreciate it. I wanted to talk about like the key points that I had learned or I'm taking away from this course, and lesson plans was a huge one. It's something we'll use every day as a teacher. We gained so much experience in this class by writing so many of them, and I just learned a ton. I learned that timing is very important. At times I felt super overwhelmed that we were not getting done in the time frame needed, and I had to adapt to that. So my next point is adaptations are needed when things like time and behavior stalls a session or other things occur. You just gotta go with it, and I learned to really make my lesson plans specific. I don't know what you would do without lesson plans in a classroom. I felt very lost in the beginning of the semester, even with my lesson plans. So I couldn't imagine what it would have been like without them. They really just, even if they were just like little key, I even remember just writing little notes on my lesson plan before I went into the class. And they just really helped me focus my thoughts when I was getting a little overwhelmed or stressed. Integration. Even though it seemed difficult to do at times, it's a huge part of the classroom, and I really didn't understand. I mean, I knew it was, but I didn't really get to work with it until this semester and with this class, and I just learned so much about the ways to integrate music, art, physical education into each lesson. It builds huge relationships between the subjects, and really lets students get those building blocks going, and figuring out how all things can come together. I just honestly think it makes things more fun, and it engages and motivates the students in new ways. It changes up the lesson, the atmosphere in the classroom. It's just a great way to get everybody thinking in new ways. Overall in this class, through integrating music, art, and physical education standards seemed challenging, but I learned the standards way better, and it became so much easier. And that's something that I've liked to challenge myself with knowing the standards now. To adapt. Be quick on your toes to handle any situation thrown at you. If things are not going the way you want them to, switch it up. Be open to change. Adapting this semester was huge for me in this class. I mean, even during my formal observation, I had a student get under the table, refuse to work. I felt defeated. I felt embarrassed, honestly, being on camera. But I learned to adapt. I learned to deal with these behaviors and really just roll with the punches. I've told my husband that all semester. I'm just rolling with punches, day by day. You're never going to walk into the classroom and have it be always the same. So things are going to happen. As soon as you learn how to roll with the punches, things in your classroom will run a lot more smooth, and they will affect you less, and you'll feel less stressed because you'll be prepared to handle those situations. That comes to my next one. To be prepared. Coming to class with everything you need that day and more is so important. No matter what is thrown at you, handle it with ease. Rolling with the punches. It's just my thing. Being the head teacher in a classroom comes with a great deal of responsibility, so being prepared for anything to happen that day is the best way to conquer it. I think being prepared even comes down to having your expectations for your students written out, having the goals you hope to obtain that day written out. Those things will help you become prepared overall. Because if there's ever a situation that needs your attention, with a student's behavior or anything, you say, this is our classroom rules. This is how it is. To be prepared puts less stress on you as a teacher. And build a bond with your students. Relationships are very important. Showing your students respect gains you so much more than respect in return. You have more fun within the classroom learning. If in the beginning of my tutoring, I did a little game with the students where they told me a little bit about them. I told them more about me. It was just super fun. By the end of it, I mean, we live in a small community, so, you see the kids at the grocery store, and they're excited to see you, and they met my husband for the first time, and that was a really cool thing for them to do, and they just really fed off of that. Then when we came back to the classroom, they just felt really cool for knowing me outside of school. It was pretty cool. Getting to know them is one of the biggest parts of becoming a great teacher. When your students feel like they can trust you, they are more open about their education. I felt like once I got to know what my students were going through at home, in school, I was better able to honestly teach them. I was coming with a better lesson plan, something that was going to really get their interest and make them motivated to work. This quote just really sticks out to me. That's what I wanted to end with. Judge each day not by its harvest, but by the seeds you plant. This quote has helped me get through a lot in college. It's actually something I learned when I was at the community college playing softball. Is just if you do the little things every single day to become a better teacher, to become a better person, a better student, a better mother, whatever it is in your life, it will pay off way more than if you're just always looking at, in this case, the harvest, the graduation, the end of this class. If we're always just pushing for that, we will never see the little changes in ourselves that will build us to be a better person in the long run. And the short strides definitely make it worth it. So I overall learned a lot from this course, and I'm so excited to start my student teaching and eventually graduate with all of you. So once again, thanks to Mrs. Broman, and I hope everyone has a great and successful rest of their year.